Hey guys, welcome to the omniverse of next Transformers Prime story, part 2. What if Tailgate returned instead of Shockwave? Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the omniverse of Nick, and check out the About tab and homepage so you don't miss anything that the future of the omniverse has in store. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time. Tailgate, after a lot of modifications and research and, destruction, he detects RC and Jack at Kaon and transforms into vehicle mode and goes to help them. The Insecticon is about to attack, and RC tries to fend him off, and Jack goes into the cavern to put the key to Vector Sigma in for Optimus. But just before the Insecticon can actually knock RC out, Tailgate comes in for the save with his giant mace chained arm and slams it into the Insecticon, knocking him firmly to the ground. Tailgate, without even reintroducing himself to RC or any reunion or anything, he just yells, "Open fire now!" RC is so surprised, so sad, so bewildered, and just completely everything. Everything is happening too fast. She has questions, but she knows what they have to get rid of this threat first and then go get Jack. So she opens fire with every single shot and might she has. Meanwhile, Tailgate, he seems to shift his new cybernetic arm into a sort of plasma ray slash blaster and starts to charge it up. And once it's charged up enough, boom! A huge plasma ray comes out and it completely destroys the Insecticon. But this is only a one-time use because he has to have a blaster somehow, but he wanted to make it stronger than any version that he ever had. Unfortunately, it's only a one-time use because, again, Tailgate is not that engineered. He was lucky to get the chain maced arm and repair himself, but there's still scars. His eye is still not fully functionable. His arm is only good for one use whenever he puts it to the plasma ray, and his chain mace arm isn't exactly like the most durable. He just got lucky. So, it's just, he has to be careful still. RC goes over and hugs Tailgate, and they have their long awaited reunion. The two partners are very happy to see each other. It's been a long time since they again crossed paths. And Tailgate asks, "Where's Cliff?" RC looks down, very sad. She tells Tailgate that whenever they went through that space bridge and it blew up and they couldn't see Tailgate anymore, they thought he died. And Tailgate says, "Well, Shockwave did, and he destroyed and took over one of his offsite laboratories." But that's another story. And he tells RC to go on. Once they went through the space bridge portal and didn't see Tailgate come out, Cliff and RC and everybody were trying to stay alert on this planet, Earth, with Optimus and everything, with the humans. But Cliff got ambushed by the Decepticons. And unfortunately, because of an accidental energon explosion, he was taken aboard the Nemesis and impaled by Starscream. And then Megatron returned and turned him into a test dummy full of dark energon, split him into pieces. Then when RC saw him, that was not Cliff anymore. And he was dropped into the energon mine and blown to smithereens. Tailgate is really taken aback and sad by this because Cliffjumper was as much of a partner to him as he was to RC. So this is definitely a sad moment. But they both know that the reunion and more stories can wait for later, and they have time to mourn Cliffjumper later. But they gotta go find RC's new partner, not replacing Tailgate and Cliff, obviously, but a partner and friend she made on Earth. one of the humans called Jack, who Optimus entrusted the key to Vector Sigma with, which Tailgate would definitely know what that is, especially Cliffjumper knowing about it and everything. Tailgate would definitely know about this. And they got to use it to restore Optimus's memory because of Unicron and Megatron, and just she explains little bits, but they definitely can't leave Jack in that tomb for long. And they both transform and rush into the cave, where Jack is unfortunately having a scraplet problem, and an even bigger scraplet problem once they start to engage RC and Tailgate. But then Tailgate pushes a button on his shoulder that shows he also managed to make something else, even if it is a plot convenience. Not to say that like my Ironhide and Cliff ones weren't, but I just feel like these characters deserve a lot more than just the basics. A huge freeze gun, or, a freeze blaster, appears on the back of Tailgate, and he freezes up all the scraplets, literally all around him. And whichever ones did try or was getting him, then Jack and RC would be able to help. Either way, they're okay. Meanwhile, Megatron is dealing with the Autobots at the space bridge. Then Orion comes in for the save. Then RC goes and attacks Megatron, and Megatron just grabs her and slams her against the wall and says, "The Matrix." But he never would have expected a new Autobot. Tailgate jumps through the space bridge next and uses his chain-maced arm and slams it into the side of Megatron, dropping RC in the process. And actually drops Megatron too. He never would have expected another Autobot, let alone an attack that strong or a weapon of such on an Autobot. Orion then sees Jack, and his memories are restored. And Tailgate with Team Prime means that them getting into their own ground bridge definitely pays off more. Optimus has a lot to remember for what he had while he lost his memory, but he does remember Tailgate, and he's very happy to see him alive, and that he helped RC and Jack, and that he's been alive on Cybertron. He stopped Shockwave's laboratories and even made modifications to himself. He is very proud of Tailgate, and he officially welcomes him to Team Prime. With no Shockwave, no Predacons, more help in the form of Tailgate, and his modifications, what more could we see of Tailgate in the future? And how will the story now unfold on Earth with him on Team Prime?